Hello, everybody, and welcome back to mufcMPB here on YouTube. Today is Wednesday, the 22nd of May, and we are getting ever so close to the beginning of the transfer window, which does mean all of the speculation you guys have been talking about and reading about and viewing, all of the ideas, the little ideas you have in your head who you think we should bring in, all of these little things are going to start to happen. All of these news reports and all of these rumors are going to get quashed, or they're going to get acted upon. All of this new news that we're seeing today, I'm going to get into it in a second, but for example, since the Premier League is finished on Sunday, Pochettino's gone. Allegri's gone from Juventus as well, which means that they'll be getting Thiago Motta. It kind of rules him out of the Manchester United job. Zerbi is going to leave Brighton. Newly promoted Premier League team Ipswich's manager Kieran McKenna is likely to reject any deal coming out of Ipswich. I mean, we're going to have a managerial change and a managerial, I guess, battle this summer. What team is going to end up with the best manager? I guess you've got Liverpool. They've already got Arne Slot from Feyenoord. You've got two massive teams like Manchester United and Chelsea, who by the looks of it are going to be both looking for a manager this summer, because it's, if you want to believe it or not, is up to you. I will say that. But Demartio today have reported that Erik ten Hag is set to leave Manchester United this summer. Now, to a lot of people, this is gospel. To a lot of people, this is absolute rubbish. You can either believe it or not, but I think such a confident statement, well, actually, do you know what? I'm going to look on both sides of the coin here. Either Demartio don't know what they're talking about and they're taking a 50-50 chance, because that's what it is. Either next season he's here or he's not. So they are going to try and be the first ones to come out and say that Erik ten Hag is leaving. And of course, 1 in 2 chance, if he does leave, they get some credibility back. They can say, we were the first ones to report it definitively that Erik ten Hag is leaving Manchester United. However, if Erik ten Hag does stay at Manchester United, then I guess it isn't really that big of a deal for them. They could probably delete the tweet. They never said, technically they never did say it has been reported by Manchester United higher-ups that Erik ten Hag will leave at the end of the season 100%. It just says Erik ten Hag is set to leave Manchester United this summer. That's like me saying, I'm set to leave the house today. Might not leave the house because I might change my mind. You don't know. But let's just imagine a scenario where Erik ten Hag is definitely 100% leaving Manchester United this summer. That would give us a situation a bit like this. You've got a newly a free agent manager, well, 2 of them in Roberto De Zerbi and Mauricio Pochettino. There is something interesting about Roberto De Zerbi, which we'll get into in a minute. And then you have Kieran McKenna. Now, if you're not too familiar with Championship football or what Ipswich have been up to recently, but you do recognise this face, that's because Kieran McKenna was part of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's backroom staff when he was in charge at Manchester United. Now, when Solskjaer's reign came to an end, it was a bit toxic. Well, there was a lot of toxicity going around. There was a lot of PE teacher, you don't know what you're doing, blah, blah, blah. Recently, there's been a lot of revisionism as well. There's been a few people, a few aggregator accounts, a few of the more popular Manchester United related football accounts coming out and saying, yeah, we should have stuck with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Whether or not you believe that is different. What the important thing here to focus on is the fact that Kieran McKenna, I believe one of Ole's assistants, along with Michael Carrick, who was then Michael Carrick's assistant when he had those 3 games in caretaker charge. I believe the first one was against Arsenal. Regardless of whatever happened there, he has gone to Ipswich, taken them from the near relegation places to automatic promotion in a season, which I think is absolutely amazing. I can't confess to have watched every other Ipswich game. I watched the more important ones this season. May have even placed a few bets. But they had a very, very good campaign. They blew the Championship out the water. And I don't think it's going to go unnoticed. Look, Kieran McKenna has already been linked to Chelsea. He has already been loosely linked to Manchester United, but is there something genuine there? Even if there is something genuine there, is this someone that we should be genuinely looking at? Let's not forget, he was a part of the people that got booted out of the door a few years ago. We don't know how well that ended, if it ended well, if he even wants to come back to Manchester United. I don't think I could see him managing Chelsea. I don't think they'd hire a manager. Okay, the position they're in now, I think if it was Abramovich there, he'd have more of a chance of going there because Abramovich had the reputation, had the success, had the proven, I guess the madness in his methods was proven to work because he was winning Premier Leagues, he was winning Champions Leagues, FA Cups every other season. He was doing bits. Bowley comes in with this whole different infrastructure, obviously completely new, fresh, I guess trying to almost copy what Abramovich did, but he just wasn't able to execute it the same way. Not many people would be able to. But because of how Chelsea have been perceived this season, they had a strong finish to the season. You could really see the football that Pochettino was playing. It was just working. Everything just seemed to be clicking. I think in their last 6 or 7, they only drew one and won the rest. They finished above us. But Kieran McKenna is 100% an unknown quantity in Premier League football. He technically only has 1 season in management. And who knows? It could have been a fluke. It could have been lucky. It could have been beginner's luck. Nobody knows what he would be like in the Premier League. So I think for Todd Bowley to get rid of someone who really did start to show nearer the end of the season what he was doing for Chelsea, someone who's taken Tottenham to the Champions League final, someone who's been involved in title challenges, someone who has the Premier League experience, the respect and the reputation in Pochettino, to get rid of him after a strong finish to the season and bring in someone else who literally nobody will know anything about, putting your own reputation on the line in terms of Bowley's reputation with the Chelsea fans, which is already kind of twisted and not so strong, I think would be a big risk, and I don't think it's a risk they'd be willing to take. I think it's a risk that Manchester United, however, could take, because if we were to get rid of Erik ten Hag, a younger manager is something that we've expressed interest in, someone that could come in and be there not just for 1 or 2 years, which kind of does leave out someone like Tuchel. I think it would be interesting. I think it'd be exciting. And I think it'd be exciting for a number of reasons. This isn't somebody like a Mourinho, like a Van Gaal, like an Erik ten Hag, who, amongst their other qualities, were brought in to win trophies from the get-go. Kieran McKenna wouldn't be a manager that's going to come in and with a CV of I've won this, I've won that, because he hasn't. And we have to be honest and we have to accept that. But that's just because he's new in that role. Kieran McKenna would come in and say, I can do this, and in this time period, the goal and the objective would be to deliver the FA Cup, to deliver the Premier League, to deliver the Champions League in an X number of years. I think if they were to appoint McKenna, it would be more of that direction where they can say, well, we're going to have you for 3 or 4 years where you can get what you need, and then in the 3rd or 4th year, like an Arteta, you could be starting a challenge. Arsenal weren't always second under Arteta. They weren't always pushing for the Premier League under Arteta. It's only been last season and this season, his, I believe, 4th and 5th season. They waited, they invested, they did things the right way, and look at where they've got now. Manchester United might look at that same situation and think, yeah, Kieran McKenna could be the guy. Mikel Arteta was assistant at Manchester City. Yes, he was learning from Pep Guardiola, but he was still assistant. Kieran McKenna was assistant at Manchester United. He was learning from Solskjaer and Carrick. Carrick and McKenna both went to the Championship and are doing wonderful jobs. They clearly have the quality and the know-how to manage a team and be the actual manager, not the assistant. So I don't know. But with Roberto De Zerbi, there is something interesting that's come out. A mystery club, or a club that wishes to still remain anonymous, has paid Brighton, I believe, £4.3 million in compensation. Now, if you use your inference and deduction skills, the Premier League season is finished. The only competitions that are still happening at Bayer Leverkusen are the Europa League, the UEFA Conference League, and the Champions League. So you have Borussia Dortmund and Real Madrid. You have Bayer Leverkusen and Atalanta, and you have Olympiacos and I believe Fiorentina, as well as Manchester United's FA Cup final against Manchester City. Okay, Manchester City aren't getting rid of their manager. Manchester United might be, so we're going to leave that there. I don't know about Fiorentina, but I doubt Fiorentina will be in for Roberto De Zerbi, and I don't think he'll be going to Olympiacos. I think we can straight away get rid of a couple of teams. Now let's go to the Champions League. Edin Terzic is very, very unlikely that he's going to get sacked by Dortmund this summer because, you know, he's taken them to the Champions League final. Real Madrid, could he be going to Real Madrid? I doubt it. I believe they'll be waiting for Alonso for next summer. Leverkusen, Alonso, still there. And Atalanta, Gasperini, I haven't seen or heard anything about him leaving, so I'm going to put my finger down. That just leaves Manchester United. Manchester United are still in competitive football. Our FA Cup final is on Saturday, so it would make sense that we don't want any news or anything to come out regarding this whilst we still have football to play, whilst Erik ten Hag is still in the job and could possibly win Manchester United a trophy. That's not me saying, oh yeah, Manchester United are definitely the team that have paid Brighton 4.3 million in compensation so they can hire Roberto De Zerbi, but that's just me saying it could make sense and it could be a possibility. Let me know in the comment section down below though, would you rather have Kieran McKenna or Roberto De Zerbi come in this summer and replace Erik ten Hag as Manchester United manager? But regardless whoever the Manchester United manager is, Tosin Adarabioyo is someone who could be coming in this summer on a free transfer. Reported by Simon Stone, Manchester United are vying with Newcastle to sign Fulham centre-back Tosin Adarabioyo on a free transfer. With Jason Wilcox, I'm not really nervous about this one. I think if we want to get this deal done, it will get done, especially having Jason Wilcox there. He was the man who captained Adarabioyo at Manchester City youth level all those years ago, so there definitely is a connection there. As I said, if we don't want him, I can't see us going for him. I think if we want him, we will get him, and I think it's as simple as that. Again, do you want Tosin to come in and potentially be a backup centre-back for Manchester United this summer? My answer is yes. Your answer might be different. Let me know down below. Let me just double check to make sure there isn't any other breaking news whilst I am recording this video. There doesn't seem to be. So I'm just going to end off by saying, make sure you leave a like and hit that subscribe button if you did enjoy this video. Make sure you follow at mufcMPB over on X, as well as myself and the other presenters. All of our links will be in the description down below. Make sure you let me know, would you rather have Roberto De Zerbi or Kieran McKenna as your next Manchester United manager? And would you bring in Tosin, I guess, to be a backup centre-back for next season? I'll see you guys later, and goodbye.